What is up, YouTubelettes? It is PuddlesA1 here, and I am bringing you the Season 3 premiere of Farewell Fridays. It is OU Edition, it is against Anklebreaker1023, and it is from his perspective. I apologize. When I tried to save it, my ROM was like, hey, Puddles, no! And so I had to borrow his. It was just too funny of a battle and too good of one to not upload. It got really close. It got closer than it should have been, and yeah, that's why I'm uploading it. So, looking at his team, which is on the bottom because mine is on top, he's got a lot of physical attackers, and then the Latios and the Starmie. I don't really count Starmie that much as a special attacker. I count it more as a spinner, just because most sets do have the rapid spin, and if you have the rapid spin, it's primarily on your team to do so, whereas like a Choice Scarfs one would be there for the rapid spinning, and then you would probably have a different Pokemon to rapid spin, but since no other Pokemon on his team can rapid spin, I'm counting the Starmie as that. So Latios is really the only threat that can stop my Skarmory from phasing. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Here we go. Anklebreaker1023 is going to be leading off with his Jirachi as I decide to lead off with my Landorus T. That is usually what I lead off with, so that's why he's out here first. I'm going to go straight for the U-turn, knowing he's not going to want to stay in, and I really want to get some switch initiative on him. So I do go for the U-turn, and I hit his Landorus T on the switch in. It doesn't do too much, but I am intimidated, and that's actually a lot more than I thought it would do. So I go out in my Starmie to scare it out with a Scald, and I decided to go for that Scald, hoping to get a burn on whatever comes in. And he brings in this Jirachi, which is really nice, but I don't get the burn. So I was like, alright, cool, let's get the burn on this next one. And I go for it, I don't get the burn, and that kind of sucks. But he goes for the Thunder Wave. I'm not really worried by that because I do have the natural cure. And if he wants to double Thunder Wave, by all means, go for it. I believe I pull a switch out here into my Landorus. What? No, into my Skarmory. And then I pull a double switch out into my Tyranitar because I want to Pursuit Trap this thing. He unfortunately misses the Hydro Pump. I'm not sure how big of a deal that is. I'm guessing that he is the Life Orb set. So I guess if someone wants to do the damage calc, because I'm too lazy to do it. But I go for the Pursuit as he tries to switch out because I always go for Pursuit. I never go for Crunch. And I do catch him on the switch out and I take him out, which is really nice. I go out into my Skarmory because I know I have my Sturdy intact and I figure that he's going to go for the close combat. But he does go for the U-turn. And now I believe I just start setting up my layers of spikes, if I'm not mistaken. As he switches out and goes into his Landorus T, I'm going to get my first layer of spikes up, and now I can pretty much go for all 3 layers without being threatened out unless he doesn't want to go for Stealth Rock, which he does go for on this turn as I get my second layer of spikes up. So now I'm feeling pretty comfortable as to go for my third layer as he goes for the U-turn. It doesn't do anything, especially with a critical hit, and he goes out into his Infernape, but now I'm going to be threatened out by the spikes, or not by the spikes, by the Flare Blitz as I get my third layer of spikes up. I believe I decided to switch out into my Lucario to get as much Flare Blitz recoil as I possibly can, but what I should have known is that seeing U-turn that he wasn't Choice Scarfed, he was probably Choice Banded with Iron Fist, and that's why he had the Fire Punch. So that was a bit of a misplay on my part, and I just wasted my Lucario for no reason, but I now know that he's Choice Banded with the Fire Punch and Iron Fist, so Blaze isn't really a thing, so that's nice to know because of all my hatches that I got up. I know he's going to switch out here, so I get to go out in my Tyranitar, go for the Stealth Rock, and then I pull a switch out into my Skarmory as he goes for the U-turn, and I believe he U-turns out into his Latios, if I'm not mistaken, and he totally does that. And now I'm not really afraid of the Hidden Power Fire. I thought he would go for it, but then I remembered that if he did go for it, I could easily just bring in my Tyranitar and Pursuit Trap this thing. So that explains why he never went for it. It took me up until right now to realize that, and I feel really stupid for not noticing that. But I did go for the Roost to get all my HP back, and now as he switches out, I am just gonna go for, I believe, the Whirlwind and start my phasing because he has nothing to stop me from phasing him around. I mean, the closest thing he has is going to be his his Infernape, but I do still have the Sturdy intact. I can just go for a Roost or Whirlwind it out and then just go into something else, the appropriate counter. As he goes for the Superpower, it does nothing, and I'm going to go for the Roost on this turn because I know that a Stone Edge, it won't do too much, but it'll do more than I want it to, and there's still the crit factor and all that stuff, so I'm just going to Roost to be safe. It doesn't do much like I thought, but being back at full HP is a lot better than being back at, half. So here I decide that I don't want to do the rest, or the Roost Whirlwind shenanigans, so I decided to switch out into my Starmie just to, get out of that little hole that I was in, I guess. And he gets the critical hit on my Starmie, so I'm like, alright, cool. This is awesome. Now I go out in my Salamence, I'm like, I'll just take it out with a Draco Meteor. It should be fine, right? He's going to live on, I think, 14 HP, and I am really upset by that because he's not going to miss his Stone Edge, and he's going to take me out. So his Landorus has now taken out 2 of my Pokemon when I could have just phased out in the first place. So, yeah, that's where things get a little rough. I decided to go for the U-turn here because last time it did about this much damage, and that was after the Intimidate. but of course I don't take it out, and he lives on 1 HP, and I have to go on to my Tyranitar as he goes for the Stone Edge, and he was like, oh man, I'm sorry I took out 2 of your Pokemon, you totally had me with the roosting and the whirlwind, and I was like, it's alright man, I don't really care, and he just stays in here. He was like, oh, I'll just let you win. I was like, no, please play it out. So I'm not sure if he's letting me win or playing it out, because he did let me kill him off when he went for the Stone Edge, but here he goes for Iron Head, so I'm not sure if he's letting me win or playing it out. So he gets the flinch, which really sucks, because I'm pretty sure Crunch would have been able to take it out, but then again, I'm not invested in attack, so who knows. Anyway, he goes for the Protect as I go for another Crunch just to get more HP back, because he knows that he can take me out with another Iron Head, and I know he can take me out with another Iron Head, and I don't want to switch out in case he goes for the Thunder Wave on the off chance, but he does make the better play and just considerably get his HP back. And then I go out into my Skarmory because I really have nothing else to do but Whirlwind things. So he goes for the Wish, makes a good play, and then he goes out, or I Whirlwind him out into the Latios, and I'm like, well, I don't really have anything to take a hit from this guy now, as he goes for the Hidden Power Fire, and now it clicks like, oh, I had my Tyranitar, that's why he couldn't go for Hidden Power Fire. So that really sucks. Now I'm down to like 25% HP after leftovers, as I do go for the Whirlwind, and I Whirlwind him out into his own Jirachi to get the Wish that he initially set up back to him, and he is back at above half HP. So now I pretty much have to go for the Roost, because there's nothing that Jirachi can do, and I need to have enough HP as I possibly can for this Latios so I can take Hidden Power Fires for days. And I do have a decent amount of HP here, and judging by the amount of HP that he's at, I'm pretty sure I can take him out with a Brave Bird as he goes for the Side Shock. I think this is where he like threw the game. I'm pretty sure he didn't expect to switch out into anything else, but it's not too big of a deal that he lost his Latios, because I did have the Landorus T that was Scarfed. I'm pretty sure he was Specs. I'm not entirely sure actually. Now that I think about it, I didn't really pay attention. But he goes out into his what's that thing called? His Scizor. As I go for the Brave Bird, I get 2 kills with the Skarmory, which is really nice. He's gonna go for the Fire Punch with his Infernape, take me out, and now I can just go into my Landorus T. I'm Scarfed, and I can just go for the Earthquake. That's super effective on both of these guys that he has left, that being his Infernape and his Jirachi, and that's gonna be good game. Anklebreaker1023. That got a lot closer than it really should have been. I should have just stuck in there and gone for Whirlwind and Roost and stuff, but I wouldn't have been able to upload if that was the case. That's the only reason why I switched out, because I've never had a battle against Anklebreaker1023, and he's a really good YouTuber, and he was one of the guys that I started watching when I initially uploaded, and now, we're both around the same amount of subs, so that's pretty cool. If you guys want to check him out anyway, go ahead and click from the Jirachi all the way to the Starmie, and that's going to be at the bottom of the screen. It'll take you directly to his channel. Like his stuff, favorite it, do whatever you want. Subscribe to him is the #1 thing. And if you want to go ahead and click the Lucario, it'll take you to my last battle. If you click the Landorus T, it'll take you to my next video when I upload it. If you click the Versus Recorder, it'll take you to the playlist of Farewell Fridays. You can watch them all from start to finish, Season 1 to the episode of Season 3 that this is. And yeah, I'm done rambling, because this is a very long battle and my mouth is dry. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Tumblr, add me on Skype. PuddlesA1 is named throughout all that. Peace, love, and later, Gators.